Hello YouTubers, so today I thought I would make a video for my squares that I've made. Each square, lots of different colours. The wool that I've used for this is from Hobbycraft, Women's Institute, soft and silky, 100g 4-ply. It recommends a 3.25mm needle, but I use a 4. I don't have any problems with it when I'm doing it either, it works fine. So I just really wanted to let you know, and let's get started. I'm going to start it off. I have a pattern here, which is written down in I do apologise. I've written down in my book, which I've literally made up of my own, what I like, basically, whatever row I like next. All very simple rows. I'll show you how to do each one, so that's not a problem. And if you want the pattern, please do subscribe to me. Either leave me a comment, email me, or whichever way you want to do it. But please do subscribe. And I will take you through the first couple of stitches on each row, and then I will stop the video and meet you back at the end, which will make it not such a long video for you. But should you need anything or you have any questions, please do email me. The email address is at the end, or you follow me on Instagram or subscribe, and we can sort of take it from there. Right, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a slip knot. So I'm going to do it in cream. I'm going to move the pad of paper out of the way so you can see it against the darker colour. Okay, make sure you've got a pencil next to you, because when you do it, you need to mark off which row you're up to. If it's anything like my house, I can never seem to get a square done without having to stop halfway through. So the way I do a slip knot is hold the end of the wool on that pinky finger next to the pinky, bring it back underneath and cross it over on the palm side, and then bring it over so you've got the two lines on the top. So we're going to put this as the first line, and this is going to be the back one, so front and back. Okay, so to do a slip knot, you go under the front one, grab the back one, pull it through, twist the bottom up, pull your fingers out and grip hold of these two tails like this, pull, and then if you just pull the actual yarn, it will go tighter. If you want it loosened off, pull the tail and that will loosen it off. So literally that is how you do a slip knot. The reason I've shown you how to do a slip knot is because I do my magic ring, which is what we're going to start off with, the way I start a slip knot. So grip it with the finger next to the pinky and your thumb, wrap it round, cross it over on the palm side, so we've got front line, back, so front and back. So you're going to go under the front and grab the back like you do on a slip knot. You're going to pull it out and then you're going to twist it up, and the bum of your needle is going to come towards you. Okay, then you're going to go back under that back one and pull it through like so. Pull it tight. There you go, and you've got your slip knot. I will show you again, because my needle fell out of the hole, out of the stitch, but that's alright, I'll show you again. When you've done it, do make sure that you can make it bigger and smaller, otherwise what will end up happening is if you've got one and you haven't checked it and you put all your stitches in the middle and it doesn't work, you're then stuck with one that won't move. Okay, so I'll show you that just once more. So same as the slip knot, finger to the finger next to the pinky, so get your thumb to hold it in place, bring it back, make sure you push it right along like down your hand far enough, otherwise it will fall off the end. So back up, cross over on the palm side, front, back, so under the front, pull up the back, pull it through. Now I sort of tend to tuck this finger down. By doing that, it kind of locks it so it can't go any further. So bring the bum up, and so your hook is facing upwards, go back under that back one, grip hold of it and pull it through. Just like that. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that. So that's basically the first part. I know that the magic ring is quite difficult to grasp hold of, but once you've caught it and you've got it, you'll never forget. It's like riding a bicycle. Okay, so just pull it. I like to do mine a little bit smaller because they're very, very difficult to control. So the first thing we're going to do in here is we're going to do chain one, because that just secures your magic ring, so it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to happen. Nothing's going to happen to it. So in here we're going to put 7 single crochet. So 1, and I work in US terms. 2, 3, 4, 5, just take your time, 6, 7. This is probably the most awkward moment you're going to get because it's a little bit on the fiddly side. And I remember when I was first starting out with these, sorry I got a fresh ball of wool so it's gone all crinkly. I really struggled to master the magic ring, but once you've done it, like I say, it just opens up the door to so much other stuff. So pull it shut. When you're pulling it shut, try and make sure it's kind of straight, otherwise you'll end up in a pickle with a twist in it. So just pull it tight, and then if you look at it now, you should be able to count back. Can you see there? You've got the little V's. There, 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 there and there. So you want 7 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to slip stitch into the last, or it would be the first one that you did. Okay. So put your needle underneath both, pull your yarn through that stitch, you've got the 2 on there, and then pull it through that last stitch. So that is now slip stitched. Okay. So that is row 1 done. So mark it off. So row 2, we're doing popcorn stitch. So it is fairly easy to do popcorn stitch, and it is double crochets. So you're doing we're going to start off with a chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that's just going to get it to the height that we need it. Okay. So in that same stitch underneath that chain, we're going to put 4 more double crochets. So yarn over, into the stitch, pull it through, 1, 2, in there again, back out, through 2, so that's 3, because your chain, that is like your first one, so that sort of, so 1 more. Right, the hole does tend to get a little bit bigger, so don't panic about that, it will disappear down. Okay. Yeah, it's gone massive, my eyes, look. Okay, so we're going to do something very scary. Take your needle out, and you're going to count back the V's. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now our 5th one's in the top of that chain 3. So if you go through the chain 3, pick up your yarn that you left on the 5th double crochet. You're going to pull 5 through number 1, and you're going to do a single crochet just to sort of lock it in place. Now some people will do a chain or X amount to go around to the next one, but I don't like that. I like to just keep mine nice and tight. So the next one you're just going to go straight into the next stitch, which is there, and you're going to do 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, no, 2, 3, 'If you get stuck and you forget 1, 2, 3, you can just count back. You can see which ones are your stitches and which ones aren't. So that's 4, 5. There we go. Right, now the popcorn stitch. So you just pull it out, count back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go back through the top of that stitch. Can you see I'm going through the 2? Both that's one stitch, okay? Then we're going to pick up your yarn again, and then you're going to put it through, just pull it a little bit tighter, and do a single crochet. That is a popcorn stitch, if you can see now. Okay, so you need to end up with 8 of those, so one popcorn stitch in each stitch as you go round, and I'll meet you at the other end. Right, hi, so this is what we've got now. 8 little petals, little popcorn stitches, very cute. I've slip stitched in from this one into the back of this next one, look, straight into there. And we're going to mark it off. That's number 2 done, row number 2. It really doesn't take very long. Once you get into the sort of swing of it, it goes quite quickly. Okay, so this time we're going to chain 3 because we're still using double crochets, because this next one is going to be chain popcorn stitch again. So we're going to go in there and we're going to do another 4 popcorn stitch. Hello, puppy. It's my cat. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we're going to do is between the petals we're going to do 2 popcorn stitches between each. So that's going to double our stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then to the top of that 3rd chain. Actually, no, with cats about, sometimes the wool isn't safe and they tend to run off with it. It's my other one more so than her. Monkeys. Right, pull tight, chain 1, move on. Okay, so we're going to put another one in that section there. So that's 1, 2. Remember, it's double crochet. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Pull it up, count back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And go through that one, pick your yarn back up. I'm going to pull that one, so technically number 5 through number 1. Pull it tight on the back and put a chain in. So that's 2, if you can see that. That's 2 popcorn stitch. Let me pull that out so you can see. Oh. So you've got 2 popcorn stitch in between 1 popcorn stitch there. So you're going to move around to the next one here, and you're going to put 2 in there, 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 till you eventually get to the other end, and then you're going to slip stitch into the back of this one, and you're going to have 16 petals. Okay. So I'll meet you back at the other end. Right, okay, so we're at the end of that row. So we're slip stitched into the back of the first one, marked off row 3 on the pattern, and now we're going to do the next row. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in that same gap we're going to do 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we're going to do the scary part, pull it out like we did before into the top of the chain. To count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because remember the chain counts as your first double crochet. So in through the top of that chain, that stitch back on, so pull that stitch through the first bit, there we go, like that, pull it a bit tighter and do 1 chain, okay, or a single crochet, chain 1. So the next one we're going to put 2 in there, okay, so 2 popcorn stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So out with the first one, count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there, through the first stitch, pull it back, that's it, through there, tighten it up and do a chain. Okay, we're going to put another one in there, so that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we're going to do the same again. Pull that up, go through the 5th one, which is actually the first double crochet, I suppose, and then pull the yarn through, your stitch through from the 5th crochet, double crochet to the 1st. Do 1 chain, and that's that set. Okay, so that is literally what you're going to do all the way around. Okay, is 1 single crochet, 1 double crochet, popcorn, 2 popcorn, 1 popcorn, 2 popcorn, 1 popcorn. So you're all the way round, but do keep checking because it's very easy to either add 3 into 1 or forget to add 2 into 1 or to just forget where you are. So remember, you always start with the 1 so you can count it round. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you're more than welcome if you want to change colours. You know how to do that. Very simple and very easy. Just start each row with your new colour. But the very last stitch that you do on the last row is when you change your colour, and then you just complete that with the new colour and then carry on with the new colour. Okay, but I don't. I like to do all mine in the same colour because I'm going to have a whole blanket with lots of different coloured squares on. I thought that would be just a little bit too much with different colours as well. It'd be a bit eye-boggling. Right, I'll meet you back at the other end where you should have, this time, 24 like popcorn stitches all the way around. I'll see you at the other end. Right, okay, so that's that row finished, row 14. And when you count your popcorn stitch, you should have, got a bit of a knot there going on, 24. I've counted mine, I know I've got 24, so that's all good. Okay, so that's row 4, so we're starting row 5 now. So this one is, we're going to do a chain 2, just a simple chain, let me move that up for you. A simple chain 2, and then you're going to do a single crochet into that hole. Just a simple single crochet. Chain 2, and then into the next, between the petals, single crochet. So we're starting to get starting to build so we can start getting some single crochets and some stitches on there, because eventually we're going to have 72. So you go all the way around doing that, chain 2, single crochet between each petal, then you're going to slip stitch it into the start, the top of the chain 2 that you very, very first did here. Okay, so that's a very simple one, and I'll meet you back here in two ticks. Hi, right, I've been around now. As you can see, you should have, when you lay it flat, if you can see that all the way around there, that looks as you should have it all the way around. Right, so that's row 5 done. Row 6. We're going to chain 2, like so. And then inside that hole, so that's going to be the first one for in there. So we're going to do a single crochet in that hole. And then if you pull that stitch over, can you see right in that corner there? Just there. It's like a corner piece. You're going to go in there and you're going to put a single crochet in there. Okay. And you're going to go to the next one, and in the bigger hole, you're going to put 2 single crochet. So 1, 2, and then in that very corner, you're going to put 1 in there. So it's 3 per little gap. It's just that 2 are in the big bit and 1's in the corner. Okay, so that's what you should be starting to look like. Go around. Sorry, it's my dog's under the table. They're not the smallest to squeeze under there. And I'll meet you back at the other end when we're done. Hi, right, so we're at the end. As you can see, right the way around, you're starting to get this pretty sort of round pattern going on now. It's worth checking, but you should have 72 stitches all the way around the outside. Now, if you don't panic. If you don't want to unpick all of these, don't worry about it. If it's just one you're missing, just add an extra one in. Is how I do it. It's a bit of cheating. I mean, I'm not no professional at all, and I don't proclaim to be. I'm just somebody that is self-taught of crocheting, off of watching YouTube and different things on the internet and everything. So I'm just sort of telling you how I do it. And to be honest, if I'm one stitch short at this point, I will just add one in. But the next row is a single crochet from back to front. Okay, or from, I'll show you anyway before we do it. So if you are one short, you could always add one in on this row as well if you wanted to. There's lots of ways. If not, just unpick this and restart again. It just means you've missed one out somewhere, that's all. Now I know I've got 72 here, so I'm just going to carry on. So we do chain 2, because these are in single crochet, although they're back to front. Okay, and then we're going to start. So we go from back through the stitch, she says, back through that stitch, pick up the yarn and come back through. The first one's always a bit on the tougher side because you've got a bit of tight stitching, and then just complete the single stitch. Right, so if I show you that again, so with the needle going back from the back through to the front, through the next stitch, pull up the yarn, go back and back out the back, and complete your single crochet. Back through there and go through around it. You can see, so you go in, out the back there, through there, okay, complete the single crochet, and then you'll see that they start to, it'll just start to work. So where it looks like that last one's finished, you go through there, into the next one, and pull the yarn through like so, and complete the single crochet. So I'll just do one more to show you. So through that gap there, which is actually part of, if you look, that last stitch that you did, through the next one, pull the yarn through that one, and complete it as a single crochet. And then it should start to look like this, if you can see it, which actually is this row here. So we're nearly at a point where we're going to start making it into a square, which is the next row after this front to back one, or back to front. Okay, so I'll leave you to do that, and I'll meet you at the end. Right, okay, so that's that row finished. So you should be now left with, a beautiful row around the outside, and there should be 72 stitches. Now I will say to you, it's important on this end of this row that you have 72 stitches, because that's how many it's going to take to get this into a square. Okay, I'm a little bit on the naughty side, and after I've got it into a square I don't tend to count the stitches, but if you always remember, you're adding one each side, each corner. So it'd be extra one, 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 extra one each time. So it's very easy to check your stitching, but all the sides should be the same because it should turn out square. Right, okay, now this one with mark number 7 on is a little bit more, because you're putting the corners in. Okay, so let me show you on this first one. Now you're going to start this corner, but we're not going to finish it until we've come all the way around, and then we'll finish this corner when we get there. Okay, so this first one's going to have a treble in it, so that's 4 chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that counts as the first one. So remember, these have all got to go, the corners got to go in the same space. So we're going to do a treble as well. So that's 1, 2, 3. Right, so that's the start of, or the finish of that corner. Okay, when we come all the way back round, we're going to finish that off in there. We're going to go into that stitch, and then we're going to do our corner. We're going to chain 3 there. Yeah, chain 3, and then do it, obviously slip stitch into the top. Okay, so this one, so we've got to make it now dip down. Okay, we're going to do that by doing the next 3 stitches. We're going to do 1 double crochet in each. So that's 1. You might want to make a note of this. 2, 3. Okay. Just make sure I've got that right. Then the next one is next 2 stitches are half double crochets. So that's where you yarn over, and instead of doing it through one and then another yarn over, you pull all 3 through the stitch at the same time. So that's 1, so go back through. It's like you're doing a double crochet, but you just yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches. Okay, so see how that's starting to take form now, if you can see there. So next thing we're going to do is 7 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then we're going to repeat to get it back up to this corner bit again. Let me move that camera up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to repeat that again. So exactly how it came back this way. So next will be 2 half double crochets. So that's 1, 2, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, you can see a knot sneaking up, 3, okay, right, now we're going to hit the corner. Okay, so let me straighten that knot out before it comes something I don't want it to. Okay, so now we're going to make the corner. So we're going to go 1 treble, so that's 2 yarn overs, so that's through, so 1, 2, 3. So it just means you're going to yarn over twice, so you go through it 3 times rather than just 2. So in the same stitch, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's that edge. So now we're going to chain 3 to get a nice corner going on, so because I've got to flick it around the other way. And in that same space we're going to do another 2 trebles. That's how we make the corner, sort of make it into an actual corner. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and into that corner again. 1, 2, 3. Right, so there you go. So the next one we're going to repeat it again. So we're going to do 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So 1 half double crochet in that stitch, and another half double crochet in that stitch, and then we're going to do 7 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, then we're going to start at night. So the next one's a half double crochet. Next one's a half double crochet because it's 2 stitches with a half double crochet. And then we're going to do 3 stitches with 1 double crochet in each stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'll show you this next corner and then I'll meet you back at the other end. Okay, you see I'm going to get a lovely square coming on now. It's got a nice edge into it. Very, very pleased. Okay, so I'll do the next corner. So it's one treble into that stitch, next stitch. Okay, and another treble. Okay, and then we chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we twist it round and we go another treble into that corner stitch again. That's what makes a lovely corner, nice crisp corner. 2, 3, and another one into there. Okay. So when you go all the way round and you finish off with that other corner that we, so we've got, that one's finished now. Oh, sorry. So we're going to go along there and we're going to do 3 double crochets, 2 half double crochets, 7 singles, 2 half double crochets, 3 double crochets and a corner, all in the same stitch. And you're going to come down this side, do the same again, 3 double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 7 singles, 2 half double crochet, 7 double single crochet, no, hang on, goodness me, 7 single crochet across the middle, and then we're going to do 2 half double crochet, 3 double crochet, and then in this corner stitch here you're going to do and finish it off with a 2 treble, chain 3 and slip stitch into this, which is the very chain, top of the chain, the very first one you did, and that should give you 4 neat corners that all match. Okay, I'm going to meet you back here in just 2 seconds. Right, hello people. So we're at the end of that row now, as you can see. The corners have taken shape, it's really starting to come together now. And it's looking cooking, it's lovely. Okay, so now we work in corner to corner, basically. So this next one is, we've marked off row number 8, which is what turned it into a corner. So now this next row number 9 is just 1 double crochet in each of the stitches. So in these corners, to get around the corner, we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. Okay, and that's going to take us 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet this side. We're going to go 1 double crochet in each one to get to this corner. When you do it, make sure you get to the very stitches and you start at the very next stitch, so the very first stitch, because if you don't start there and finish there, you'll end up losing one, because we're going to add 1 there, 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 1 there. Now I'm really naughty from here on out, I don't count my stitches. But either way, if you wanted to, that's fine. Just make sure you've got the same amount of stitches all the way around. If you haven't, you've either put an extra stitch in or you've not put enough in. As long as you get that very last stitch that side and the very first stitch this side, which is there, you can see it's like that corner piece that we did in the last one, when we was doing the 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet into the corner. So that's your first stitches into that corner. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a chain 3. So we're just going to start this one, and then when we get all the way around, that's when we're going to finish it off. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do a double crochet into that gap, like that. Okay, and then when we're done all the way around, and we get to here. So we've got all the way into that one there we'd have done. Then we do 2 double crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into the top of that chain. That then finishes off that row. Okay, so I'll meet you at the back of the, when we're finished with this row. Right, okay, I'm at the end. I've slip stitched into the top of that first chain 3 that we did. Okay, so this next row, so we'll mark that was row 9 just done. So row 10 is just chain 2 into that corner, and then into the same stitch a single crochet, and then 1 single crochet in every one all the way along. Okay, so that's into the corners. Every time we do a corner, it's 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, and obviously you'll finish your row when you do the other half of that corner we started on with the chain 2, and then you'll slip stitch into the top of the chain 2, and then that row will be finished, and I'll meet you back at the end. Right, okay, so that was row 10 done, so don't forget to tick it off. So row 11 is chain 2 and 1 single crochet in that corner. This one's not such a big gap, so you have to be a little bit sort of looking for it. Okay, so there's my chain 2. Then into the same, we're going to do 1 single crochet. And this is the one, like we did before, where you go from back to front, all the way around. And remember, when you finish this row, you're going to just do a 2 single crochet in that corner, a chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch into the top of that last chain, or the first chain that you actually did. Okay, so that's, if I pull that up, you can see, so this one's from back to front, looks, so it makes that beautiful pattern. This row is this row here. Okay, so by going from back to front, this is what makes it stand out. Look, like it's like a backwards stitch, like the stitch is backwards, but we're going to use it like that. See, from behind it just looks completely plain, like nothing's amiss. So it's all nice and neat from both sides. So like I say, this is the stitch we're doing now. So from back to front, I'll just show you once more on another stitch so you can get it. So when you go through from the back to the front, it's the side where you finish that last stitch. So back through to the next stitch to the side of it, pull the yarn through both, so it's out the back, and then complete it as a single crochet. And then you'll start getting this beautiful pattern. In the corners, we're going to do 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, and then don't forget to get the very first stitch in on each corner. So do you remember we said the very last stitch and the very first stitch, and then that will just gain it, and it will just keep getting sort of squarer and squarer. Like I say, I don't count my stitches at this point. I just sort of go for gold. But if you wanted to do more of a bit more of a professional job, then you're more than welcome to. But it's just something I don't worry about doing. They'll all sort of match up and marry up at the end. And like I said, I'm just making a blanket for our bed. So, and you can tell if they're right or not. You can tell just by looking at them if you've got extra stitches one side and not the other side. Okay, right, so we're going to carry on with row 11, and I'll meet you at the end when I'm done. Right, hi everyone, I'm back at the start point, and this is what you should have now. Starting to revolve into a beautiful square, as you can see. Okay, so we'll cross off that line number 11. Now we're on number 12. Now this is just a simple 1 single crochet all the way around. The corners are going to be the same, 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet. Okay, so we're going to do a chain 2, and then we're going to go into that same space for the chain 2 and do another single crochet, sorry, and then we're going to go straight into it and start with a single crochet. There we go. We're going to go all the way around, doing a single crochet in each one. Plain and simple. And then you're going to get all the way around, and you're going to get back to this corner, and you're going to do 2 single crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into the first top of the chain on that, second chain at the top there. Okay, and I'll meet you back around at the other end when we're done. Hello, right, so I'm at the end now. Starting to really take shape now. Look how beautiful that is. Really starting to look nice. And see how I know I've got the right amount of stitches? It's square. If it wasn't square, or you'd got one too many stitches or anything like that, it would just peek off. And it just doesn't look right. Please excuse the pink in there. I don't know what that is. Hobbycraft wool seems to have got a bit of pink mixed in with my white, so I'll live with it. I'm not too worried. When I come around and put the next row on, it will hide that, because it'll just take it straight in there. And if it doesn't, it's okay. For me, it's okay. It's alright. So, we'll cross off row number 12. And we're now on row number 13, which is a chain 2, 1 single crochet in the corner, and then a single crochet from back to front. Do you remember? We went through one stitch, through the other stitch, picked up yarn, come back through, and completed it as a single crochet, which is what makes these lines here. This one here was what was made with that one. It's a beautiful stitch, and I'm sure it's called something. I don't know what it is. I was just playing around with stitches one day, stumbled across it, and I really like it. So that's how I sort of ended up doing it. I'm sure it's called something in the crochet realms, but I don't know what it is. Like I say, I don't proclaim to be an expert. I'm not an expert. I am just somebody who is self-taught from watching film after film or video after video, checking it through the internet, and just learning myself by watching people do it and whatnot. So I'm not an expert. I'm just a hobbyist who enjoys crocheting and just wanted to share a little something with you. So let's move on to the next one then. So first off, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then in that same gap underneath, we're going to do a single crochet, not in the corner, bearing in mind, peeps. There we go. I'll put it in the corner. Right, we're going to go from back. Remember to go right in that very first stitch. Just there. Ooh. The first one's always the most awkward one because it's all tighter of stitching there. So through there. Oh my goodness me. That's silly, isn't it? Right, through there. Through there. And then complete it as a single crochet. Then back through that gap, through the next stitch. So that gap's like the last part of, that's what it leaves you with, is like a small gap. If you can see that there, just that bit there. So that's where you're going to come back through the next one, pull the yarn through, and complete it like a single crochet. Through, back, back, complete. Alright, so each corner is 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet. When you get all the way around, you get back to this side, in this hole you're going to do 2 single crochet, chain 2, and slip stitch it into the very top of this first chain, the last chain that you made there on that corner. Right, I'll meet you at the other end again. Hello, right, I'm at the end now. So that is the end of row 13. So mark it off. We're now on row 14, which is just chain 3, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet in each stitch, and then the corners are 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. And then you're going to finish on this last one, this first corner, what you start with, because you're going to chain 3, excuse it, my Rottweilers, they're playing. You're going to chain 3, which is your first double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then when you've done all the way around and come back this side, you're going to go into the corner, and you're going to do 2 double crochet and a chain 3 and slip stitch into the top of that first chain. Okay, so we're going to do our chain 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a double crochet into the bottom of that stitch. So that's 1, So that's the first part of that corner. Okay, so when we get all the way back around the other side, we're going to do 2 double crochet in there, chain 3 and slip stitch into the top of that one. So quite literally this one, all we're doing is going all the way round with just a double crochet. Don't forget to get that first. It can be a little bit awkward, this one. First stitch, make sure you're getting them right in the first stitch, otherwise it won't look right. Okay, so is that right? Yeah, right, okay, so it's just 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and your corners are 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. Okay, there we go, and I will meet you around the other end, and that's what we should start looking for. Okay, I'll meet you at the other end. Hello, right, I'm at the end of my row 14, which is a double crochet row all the way around, so mark that one off, because we don't want to end up walking away and then having to come back and not know where we are. So 4 more rows remain. So this next row is a single crochet row. So we're going to do chain 2, 1 single crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet all the way round. When we get to the corners, we're going to do 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, and that will take us into the next row. Remember, we start, let me cut some wool out. We start one row just with the 2 single crochets. So I'm going to do 2 chain and 1 single crochet next to it in the same stitch. So we're going to do 2 chain, and this just starts this corner off. Okay, so into there and single crochet. Right, so that's that. So now we're just going to literally go along and we're going to do 1 single crochet in all the stitches. So starting with that very first one, remember to get that very first one, very important, otherwise your stitch count won't go up each side evenly. And just 1 single crochet right the way around, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll finish that one. Remember, if you get to that corner, it's 2 single crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into the top of that chain that you did on that very first chain you've done. Okay, I'll meet you back here in a second. Hello, right, I'm at the end of my row 14, which is a double crochet row all the way around, so mark that one off, because we don't want to end up walking away and then having to come back and not know where we are. So 4 more rows remain. So this next row is a single crochet row. So we're going to do chain 2, 1 single crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet all the way round. When we get to the corners, we're going to do 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, and that will take us into the next row. Remember, we start, let me cut some wool out. We start one row just with the 2 single crochets. So I'm going to do 2 chain and 1 single crochet next to it in the same stitch. So we're going to do 2 chain, and this just starts this corner off. Okay, so into there and single crochet. Right, so that's that. So now we're just going to literally go along and we're going to do 1 single crochet in all the stitches. So starting with that very first one, remember to get that very first one, very important, otherwise your stitch count won't go up each side evenly. And just 1 single crochet right the way around, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll finish that one. Remember, if you get to that corner, it's 2 single crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into the top of that chain that you did on that very first chain you've done. Okay, I'll meet you back here in a second. Hi folks, right, I've got to the end of that row, which was a single crochet row all the way around. So just sort of on the outside there, look, you can see it on top of that double crochet there. It looks very pretty. Okay, so To finish it off, you're going to chain 2, no, you're going to do 2 single crochet, chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch into that very first chain that you did to start the round, so that completes the round. So in this corner now we're going to do a chain 2 and 1 single crochet, which I've actually done mine and started it. You can see the edge there, look. Can you see that? And then it's a back to front stitch, 1 single crochet, so it's a single crochet back to front. Okay, so we're going to go through the hole from back to front, from front to back, pick up the yarn, go back the way you came and complete the stitch like a single crochet. From back to front, front to back, pick up the yarn and back and complete the crochet, the single crochet. So you're going to do that all the way around. The corners are going to be 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet, and then when you get to the end you can complete it by doing 2 single crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into that first chain that you started. Now one thing I will say is if you wanted to make these bigger, you could do very easily by just adding, I don't know, you could even use the rows that we've already done on here on the end. So that would be very easy to do. Pink, look. I choose not to because I have I have arthritis in my hands. It makes it very difficult and they get heavy. And I know that sounds really silly, but when you've got a fairly thick wool, which this one is, being a 4-ply, it can get heavy. And if, like at this point now, I can't just sit and hold it. I have to rest it on the table in order to complete it. I do mine like that. So, which is a bit odd, but that's the only way I can do it because the weight of it just pulls down on my fingers and I can't handle for that, or my fingers can't sort of cope with that for very long. So, but if you wanted to make them bigger you could do, but this works well for me in this size and I think it's beautiful, really pretty, lovely square. One thing I will say is this wool, if you do decide to use this wool from Hobbycraft, which is the Women's Institute wool, soft and silky, it stretches bad, look. It does go back, but it does stretch. So sometimes when you look at it, you think, goodness me, that looks completely out of shape. If you check and count each side, and they've all got the same amount, which mine have, I've checked mine because it looked so out of sorts. Don't worry about it, don't panic, it's just a wool, and it just sort of goes back on its own. It's like a retractable wool. It's really odd, but it's really lovely. It's got a bit of a shimmer to it. I like it. So don't let that put you off. So, right, I'll meet you at the other end of them, folks, when you finish doing the entire row of back to front, front to back, pick up the yarn, back the way you came, complete the stitch in a single crochet. Okay. Right, hello everybody, I'm at the end of row 16, which was a single crochet from back to front, front to back, then pick up the yarn and back through. So that one's done. So the next one we're going to do is a chain 3 plus 1 double crochet in the corner, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. The corners are going to be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So we've only got 2 more rows and we're at the end. So I'm really pleased to have shared it with and shared my pattern with you. I will just say, if you do want a copy of the pattern, it's not a problem. Just please email me or leave a comment or anything like that, and I'll get one sent over to you. But please subscribe to me first and whatnot, because obviously being a fairly new YouTuber, it's very difficult to start out. And this is probably one of my biggest, most personal crochet patterns that I have. Right, so we're going to have to excuse my dogs. Well, I think my little girl's just coming in from school. So chain 2, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the same space. Okay. So that's 1 double crochet. And then from here on out, we're going to do 1 double crochet in every single stitch. And then on the corner, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And we'll do that all the way around, and I will meet you at the end when I've done my round and you've done yours. There we go, look. I'll meet you at the end. Right, back at that starting point again. So that's all the way around. It looks very distorted, but I think that's where I've been holding it and the way I've been holding it, because I've got the right amount of stitches all the way around. So right, that was number 17. Let's mark off. So this is the very last row. Now this row, to my mind, is probably the most special. So it's a double crochet, but we're going to use the lower post from the previous row that we've just done. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a double crochet into that corner. So that's 1. Okay, so that gives us the finish, if you like, of that corner. Oh, excuse me, got an itchy nose. So we're going to go round the very bottom post, so starting with that chain 3 that we did, and the first one's always a bit fiddly. Come back up and then complete the double crochet. Okay, so we're going to yarn over and go below, around that bottom post, if you can see that. Around that bottom post, look. Pick up the yarn, come back through, out to the top, and finish it as a normal double crochet. I don't know if you can see that. Bear with me. Okay, so we'll try that again. Round, through the bottom, that last row that we've done, back up, and finish it as a double crochet. So yarn over, through and around that bottom post, and finish it as a double crochet. This is why what gives it that really lovely finishing edge, that makes it sort of stand really nice. It pulls it forward. So right, when you get to the corners, it's 2 double crochet in the corner, chain 2, 2 double crochet from each corner, and then we're going to go all the way around again, get to this corner, and when we've got to here we're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then slip stitch into the very top of that last chain that we did as the first stitch. Right, and I'll meet you back at the end and we'll have a look at what we've got. Right, hello, so we're right at the end now, so you've got your beautiful square made. That pink bit, I think I'm going to have to find out what that is and get rid of that, because I didn't think it'd bother me, but it is. I'll have to sort that out there. This is what you've got. Now the wool, like I say, has stretched, but it will go back over time when you're not touching it, and that it will go back down. It's just that it's all stretched where you've been holding it and making it. So in order to finish it off, all we're going to do is just do a chain 1, pull it through, pair of scissors, leave yourself a decent sized tail so that you can stitch the end in, pull it out and just gently pull it. Pull it backwards when you do it, and then it won't sort of go the wrong way and just distort it even further. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My crocheted square. If you are wanting the pattern, just drop me an email or message me, comment on the bottom, whichever you would like, and I can send you the pattern. But please do subscribe to me first, and we can go from there. So thanks for watching. Happy crocheting.